Welcome back to Stickman Trenches. Today we're going to try out Endless Mode. The objective is simple: survive as long as is humanly possible. Let's actually convert our first metal, get a machine gunner up and running, upgrade our trenches, and from here what I want to do is just pump out more men. Now the objective in this is, right now, it's like survive as many waves as possible. We also have a timer, but I'm wondering if the timer is a little bit redundant, and having a little bit of time in between waves could be pretty good, but we'd have to stop the whole economy, which makes things a little bit tricky. Needless to say, we're still tinkering with it. Now, this is going to be a key first choice. We don't have machine gunners unlocked. We could get the metal to unlock them, or we could summon one. I think in the early waves, it's very key to make those choices the right choices. There is a little bit of RNG, so that obviously affects things. I think at this point I want to exchange and upgrade this trench and then pop out another machine gunner and a shotgunner. And since the enemy is only sending in about 4 infantry at a time, I think that sort of favors us. 2 metals is definitely a good idea. We'll save 3 so that we can get 5 and unlock quicker rifleman production, which was something we covered in the more recent video. Now, shotgunners have also had a huge update, as you probably saw in Friday's video. But as you're watching this, I want you guys to be thinking, well, you know, what are some fun ideas and ways that we could update this game? In this mode specifically. There we go. I think we might be in business, except the enemy, that wave just kind of decimated us. We need more units that can be spawned in other than riflemen, although we are running out of money relatively quickly. We're at 1:40, and I've noticed that if I can survive 2 minutes, I have a really good chance of going far. So this is going to be the key wave. Let's summon a sniper. Those shotgunners running up, man. Shotgunners are just so dang deadly. Let's convert all of our money. Oh, we should have converted 1 and used the other 2 to unlock submachine gunners. Not having submachine gunners, I think, is definitely not good. Interestingly enough, shotgunners are helping to hold the line. Once we feel very secure in our first trench, we're gonna move out to the second one, but I do not feel very secured quite yet. Oh my goodness. Getting 5 metals is exactly what I want. That means I can get faster shotguns and convert the rest. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm done. What am I doing? I need to use 2 metals to unlock another unit. I want you guys to be thinking and use your creative muscles right now on what we could do to make, well, quite frankly, Endless Mode more interesting. Right now, you can only really upgrade your trenches, the machine guns, and your base, and the base upgrade is relatively straightforward. It just kind of increases its hit points, but I want it to have like material things on it, like maybe after you upgrade it first, it gets a sniper. Or maybe you click the barracks similar to how you click the research tree. Just thinking out loud right now. Obviously, we want your guys' feedback because it's freaking awesome. We just unlocked artillery and we've got 3 metals. Let's convert 1 and start getting some snipers out here, so we can hit a few guys before they fire. Granted, once they get up close, they'll be able to hit snipers. And maybe having snipers in a back trench and all of these riflemen in the front trench would be the better course of action. We are fully upgraded in terms of our infantry, at least with what our placeholder research tree has available for us. So I'm thinking, now that we've survived almost 4 minutes, I'm feeling pretty fresh. And maybe after this wave, we go and take the next trench. Let's summon another sniper. All right, we gotta upgrade this one as fast as possible, so we're gonna need money. I think now that we hold the outer trench, I think we just lost a sniper. We're gonna have a better chance. It's kind of cool. You can sort of see where the snipers are just by looking at their helmets. Every unit sort of has its own helmet, except for maybe like shotgunners and riflemen share the same sort of British style helmet. Snipers have the little camo pattern on them. We'll take an artillery barrage. Not that we need it. The first shot did a decent amount though. All right. We're doing decent. But the idea of like how tanks work, because right now if I summon a tank, they just sort of go and attack and then drive off the end of the map. They don't like stay and continue fighting. Here, I'm gonna get one out when I can. Actually, I should be able to with this money. Now, he'll probably die, but if you time it right, he can help on a big wave. Like right now, he's in my trench, which is great, and he's tanking a lot of damage. Well, that is what tanks do, right? They tank damage. But sometimes, if you're not careful, the tank will attack the enemy wave and stall them, and it may be long enough to join the next wave. Let's summon a poisonous gas. If I can time this right, maybe now? Is it too early? Oh no, okay, it's perfect. The enemy's gonna be running through it. They had enough officers though with gas masks, which definitely affected things. Let's do a precision artillery strike. Look at how many submachine gunners they have. And so like determining what an enemy wave consists of, how often they attack. Do we want to have time in between waves to sort of like upgrade? How does money work? Because right now it's still the basic skirmish economic system whereby we get certain money every couple seconds. But right now, like, I'm feeling pretty good. Some of the other things I could do is continue upgrading my base, but this is the point where I've always wanted to add like static defenses, like minefields. Let's unlock some things and then convert the rest into cash. Use some chemical weaponry right now. Hopefully there's not too many officers. Can gas a whole lot of them. But yeah, minefields, barbed wire, maybe little mortar installations that just kind of fire passively, like I don't have to directly control them. Here our first tank is, and it's immediately destroyed because my trenches are, well, they're freaking beastly is what it is. We'll fire a little bit of anti-Geneva Convention juice out there, summon some snipers. Another machine gun tank comes. Now, as we get a vehicle update in, and we add some of the bigger land ships, I think we can have some really cool boss waves. Like depending on who you're fighting, like British Mark IVs or Mark Vs, French Char 2Bs and Char 2Cs, German A7Vs, you know, the big baddies of World War I. Maybe even flamethrower tanks. I mean, these are things, none of these are promises. These are just musings out loud for the record. Let's see if we can't summon in 2 tanks to attack. We're at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I am feeling great right now. And I think like the way the enemy comes in, they sent that tank in immediately without infantry support. And as a result, well, they weren't very effective. So we're going to counterattack with 2 tanks at wave 39. We need waves to feel meaningful and impactful. Now, do these tanks survive? That machine gun tank is about to go down. Cannon tank is about to go down. We'll summon in a sniper. There's just so many different things that we need to do in order to balance this. Let's do our exchange rate, which is still probably too favorable. Now the base has a machine gun. So what we could do is after this wave, retreat and let the outer trench get overrun, which is a waste of military resources, I understand. But one of the things that we need to do is, I believe that machine guns have they don't fire far enough yet. So actually, I don't think that the machine gun on the base is gonna fire, and the one right behind my trench rarely fires. So let's go back and take these trenches and re-upgrade right in time to... Oh my gosh, that tank died quicker than I could put precision artillery on it. We are losing some men, but at this point, like, you sort of reach critical mass. It's like, how many men can you have? Well, I don't know, 100 maybe? That's a lot of men in that trench. Like, these are things that like you don't really get to experience in the skirmish mode, but in endless mode, they do come out. Let's take a sniper. Now we've got everything unlocked. So the infantry are gonna come right behind this tank. So let's drop gas now. But I'm thinking like your base back here could have some passive stuff. Like maybe the machine gun fires overhead at greater range by increasing our machine gun's range. Maybe you can get snipers. Once again, leave your ideas for endless mode below because it's still in a very early place. And that is good in that a lot can change. So yes, Baron's Brigade, we are recruiting you to help us refine and make this game as fun as it can. And, oh, we've got 2 tanks by the enemy. How cute you are. Artillery. Another thing is visually, a lot of people have been saying that in No Man's Land, it's kind of boring visually. There's not a whole lot going on, and you're right. I mean, it just looks like sand because that's what it is right now. I feel like using artillery and having craters would be really cool. Man, my snipers are crushing these tanks. Oh, I'm out of metals. I'm like, why can't I build snipers? Well, duh. Snipers are so freaking powerful. Yeah, and at this point, it's like the enemy's just getting wrecked. Absolutely destroyed. So what wave are we on as we exceed the 10-minute marker? Wave 48. I just gassed a tank because I wasn't really paying attention. Whoops. You know, precision artillery, maybe having... I like the idea of mortars, maybe, or that's where your artillery is, and they just fire passively. And maybe, like, do you have direct control of your artillery in this mode? How many men do I have in this trench? Let's see. How many men do I lose during this tank? See? Right now, at this point, you're like, okay, I feel invincible. And I kind of am. But you got to remember that the enemy is just going to keep sending more and more and more and more and more men. Oh my gosh. I think I'm actually having a slight frame rate drop. I'm kind of excited by that, actually. This is good to know. 3 machine gun tanks. I think our lack of vehicle variety is definitely negatively affecting the experience of endless mode. So at this point, we're not going to build any more men. This is something that you do, you know, when you're balancing, right? Now, we can use artillery, and we also need to be able to right-click to cancel artillery orders, which would be great. Our base is fully upgraded. We'll take the stars. Ooh, cannon tanks are coming. Now, if all the tanks attacked at once with infantry right behind them, they would be significantly more effective. So once again, sort of like musing out loud and saying, well, we could change how the enemy attacks. Because if you sent a few cannon tanks, like one on the top, one in the middle, and one on the bottom, with a bunch of shotgunners behind each of them, they would probably be devastating. Yeah, most of these tanks don't get to fire much at all. Snipers are taking shots. I'm not sure what caliber rifles we're using. Let's take the medals and convert them. Right now, it's just like, how much money can we accrue? 6,000, almost 400. Wave 50. But I gotta say that it's been such a great experience so far sharing off Stickman Trenches with you guys. Remember that you can wish list it on Steam right now, and please do that. And hit the little follow tab. And if you want to go another step further in supporting, go ahead and hit the Big Play Games Steam page and hit follow there too. I'm pretty excited to say this ambiguously right now. There's actually a number of other projects and games currently in development by myself and my team, so I can't wait to share that with you. Some of that might be coming to you guys very soon. And by very soon, I mean, you know, end of January, early February is roughly what we're thinking. And you may be thinking, wow, it's almost the end of January now. And you would be right. Let's see if we can't get up to 10,000 resources. My experience right now is pretty incredible. But like I said, endless mode is still early in development, early in refining and balancing, and early in concept. And I want your feedback. I also want land ships in this right now. These poor Germans. Some of the shotgunners are getting in there, but like, we're so heavily upgraded. It's kind of impressive. Shotgunners probably should have an increased chance if they get in close and get a shot against an upgraded trench to hit some of these guys. We're so densely packed. One shotgun should be able to kill multiples, at least in real life. So we've reached over 10,000 currency. We've survived over 15 minutes here in Stickman Trenches. Endless mode. I can't wait to add more units, more features, more ideas, more research, more tech. The team's working hard, guys. The team is working hard. Wave 58. Our goal is to get to wave 70. Having tanks attack in a swarm with infantry right behind them. If I was the enemy and I could determine how I attacked this just insanely fortified position, that's what I would do. Now that we've got all this money, I'm gonna do this strategy called spamming my number keys and queuing up as many men as fast as I can. At this point, what you'd want to do is send out your waves and take the enemy trench. We have critical mass. All we need is the officer to blow the whistle. We're over the top. We're through no man's land in no time at all. Hopefully the enemy doesn't have as well fortified position as us. This is hilarious. Wave cleared. We are on wave 60. Now the enemy's bringing in multiple cannon tanks. If they get off shots though, they could do a lot of damage, but they're not getting off the shots. Snipers are damaging them so much so that the first salvo of rifles, which is gotta be probably 100 rifles in there, just insta-kills them. Yeah, look at those. Like, the snipers, I feel like it's a Revolutionary War and we've got a little musket line right now. Oh, yeah, the shotgunners get hits off. I mean, shots off, let's say. 2 cannon tanks coming up, easy. And we're also experiencing definite frame rate drop, which makes sense. Although I have a good computer. Give me the money. I want to get over 10,000 gold again. We're going to start our own Swiss bank over here and start lending to the enemy. We're so rich. Oh, I wonder if that would be an interesting thing, like send money to a bank and get a little bit of interest on it. I mean, it's just so many ideas. That's the fun part about developing your own game is like, well, we can do whatever we want. Just takes time and resources to do it, but we can at least think about so many different things. Counterattack with tanks. We'll have a tank battle in no man's land. Come on, tanks. Our machine gun and cannon tank are doing the business. Let's summon up sniper. Some of the snipers are actually getting shots off too, so they're definitely helping us. Otherwise, I feel like one of our tanks probably, well, there you go. There's the first one down. And we are almost at 20 minutes. Yeah, right now, the way balancing works, if you have a very hard time surviving 2 minutes, and then over that, it's easier. Wave 64. We're gonna go to 20 minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Stickman Trenches Endless Mode. Can't wait to read over your thoughts, constructive criticism, and ideas. Make sure to wishlist Stickman Trenches on Steam, and I will see you in the next one. I think I've reached invincibility right now. See you next time.